All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm starting late. I'm starting even later than I said I was going to start. I'm like 30 minutes late on whatever time I scheduled this for. But it's been one of those days. One of those days. Today is what, March 6th. I did my taxes today. That was it was a headache, not as bad as I anticipated, but it was still a headache. And I use TurboTax, and I've done this for 8 years. They're like, congratulations on your 8th year with TurboTax. And last year, they completely fucked shit up because when you're self-employed, you have tons of deductions. There's like a million deductions. And the first 6 years, you would just go screen to screen. Okay, let's check for this deduction. Let's check for that deduction. Did you spend money on this? Did you spend money on that? And blah, 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 blah. And that gets deducted off your gross. And of course, reduces your tax burden. My tax burden is fucking zero because I pay a gazillion times more than I take in. So I'm doing TurboTax. And last year, instead of the screen that said, did you spend money on licenses? Did you spend money on registrations? Did you spend money on meals outside of the house? Did you spend money on road tolls? Did you spend money on whatever? Like there's all these categories. Instead of that, they had a weird fucking box where I don't even on my PC, were you supposed to click and put stuff in? I know how that part works because I get paid on a what is it? A 1099 NEC, right? 1099 non-employee compensation. So it's like a whole different thing and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so when I realized that they had fucking changed the format last year, I went nuts. And I couldn't file electronically. I had to save the entire thing as a fucking PDF and then print it out and then ship it to the fucking IRS. And of course, like a dick, I forgot to fucking sign it. So they ship it back to me. They mail it back to me. Oh, you forgot to sign your return. Duh. All this shit. So I got to my taxes. It was not. They fixed the problems from last year mostly. They made it much like it was the year before. But there was still some confusion, and I was really pissed off, and I was very unhappy. And but I got through it, and it's done. It's fucking done. And it's done. So that's good news. So I'm happy with that. Other than that, I really didn't do too much today. Everything's more or less going my way. Last week was crazy busy, except for Friday, which was dead. There was no work. And I wish I knew in advance that I was getting a day off because I just wait around and go, you know what I should do? Now I better not start that because if I start that, as soon as I start that, the phone will ring. And then, of course, the phone doesn't ring till it's like 8:45 at night. And you're like, okay, the phone's not going to ring. So go do something else. You have the day off, which is kind of like what you were hoping for the whole time. But, okay, well, yeah, 8.5 hours went by while you were hoping you'd get the day off. And now for sure you're not going to answer the phone. So, you're fucked. Well, whatever. Anyway, that's my life. The exciting life of an independent contractor. But this week, we got tremendous fucking videos. We got all kinds of stuff. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the people who are watching now, IRL, live. I can see you up in the corner here. And welcome to everybody who's going to watch this in the coming week. Tons of stuff going on. A lot working in the background in our favor. And that is to say, in the favor of Bitcoiners, and not so much in the favor of people waiting for Hitler to come back and fucking rescue. Also, as you could probably tell, I started drinking before this show. Whatever, but we got so much fucking stuff to cover. Jesus Christ, we got so much stuff to cover. or the relatively recent drop in the Bitcoin price. Let's start there. I don't know where to start. I got so many things to start with. Bitcoin was hovering in like the $24,000, $25,000 range, and it dropped recently. And you might wonder why that is. Well, let's go to the largest Bitcoin exchange on the planet Earth, a company called Binance, which is as shady comes. Here's about a minute's worth of video explaining what's going on with Binance.
The world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, continues to dominate the news, so stick around because we're going to get into it. First off, Reuters reported that the value of all Binance USD has dropped by $6 billion following a US regulatory crackdown. On top of that, a damning Forbes article came out saying that last year Binance moved $1.8 billion of collateral meant to back its customers' stablecoins without informing them. Binance even channeled $1.1 billion of customer funds to a Chicago-based high-frequency trading firm. Other crypto traders, including Amber Group, Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Research, and Justin Sun's Tron, also received hundreds of millions of shifted collateral from Binance. Binance has always been sort of shadowy, from its lack of physical headquarters to reported federal investigations for money laundering and tax evasion. And to make matters worse, the company has its own set of proprietary records to keep track of funds. So while they claim solvency through proof of reserves exercises, it's hard to verify independently. If you are buying Bitcoin, learn to store it safely without having to trust a third party.
All right, we got a comment. We got Virgil Doc Purple Heart in the chat. Welcome to the show, sir. So Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, is under pressure from the U.S. federal government to be more transparent and honest in what they're doing. And of course, they're doing the same sorts of things that the SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX thing is doing. So law and order is coming to crypto. Law and order is coming to the world of digital assets. And this is a good thing, largely. There were years in the years past. I remember I used to read message boards. There used to be all these people, like, no matter what the news was, people would say, "This is good for Bitcoin. This is good for Bitcoin." And I was like, they would just post that over and over and over again in message threads, and I'm like, oh, that's so fucking stupid. But in the long run, I now understand, although I'm not 100% sure those guys really understood, that this is in fact good for Bitcoin. So there's pressure now. We got two comments. Judas Fly Chai, Brace Persian Mission Guy. Happy Purim from Los Angeles, California. Purim, the big drinking holiday for the Jewish people. And I myself have been imbibing. Purim, where the Jews were taken in by the Babylonians or the Persians or something like that, and then something went wrong, and then all the Jews had to kill them. And then they celebrated by drinking a lot. I think that's Purim, but it's a big drinking holiday for the chosen people. Welcome to the show, by the way, Judas Fly Chai. Judas, big drinking holiday for the chosen people, and a day when they go, look at all those stupid drunk Gentiles. So kind of the pot calling the kettle black. Viewership skyrocketing at this point. At this point now, I have like all kinds of viewers, big viewership. Anyway, part of the reason why I'm doing this later at night is because I think it gets more people live. It gets more, and there's more interactivity, which I want. Judas Fly Chai in the chat. I got back from a Purim gathering, listened to the local Chabad rabbi, read the book of Esther. My mom and I gave charity for the holiday. We ate really good food and took some candy for my niece. That's nice. You should bring sweets. You should bring food to your family. Speaking of food, I myself am a bit of a foodie, and I've been craving this dish, and I made a variation of it called lamb cleftico. And lamb cleftico, as you might imagine, features lamb. But the word cleftico means thieves. And this is the thieves' lamb. We're getting more comments. Judith Fly Chai probably going like crazy. Federico Vasconcelos, are all Jewish holidays about killing the goy? Quite possibly they are. I would argue that it is the one worldview which overtly celebrates the death of others. You know what I mean? It isn't even that they won or that they survived or that they proved their courage or that they were more virtuous or whatever. You know, they actually celebrate the fact that they killed those that they despise. So you may be right. You may be right, Federico Vasconcelos. Judith Fletcher in the chat. I got my niece ring pops when she comes over. Her favorite color is the red one. That's the thing. My little sister used to like those things. That was so dumb. James, if you cut at the F-bombs, you will be wealthy. F-bombs destroyed. Wow. I had no idea. I had no idea that the listen, Judith Fletcher, we're going to get into a lot of stuff. We're going to get a lot of stuff. Bitcoin stuff, money stuff, the economy. There's tons of things. We're going to go far and wide. We're going to be esoteric. We're going to be earthy. We're going to do all kinds of things. Here, speaking of earthiness, this is the part of the reason why I was, because I had to make sure this was done. This is what I was just chomping on like 10 minutes before the show. This is what my version of lamb cleftico. I got to make video of this. This is my version of lamb cleftico, which is actually literally translates into thieves' lamb with tomatoes, potatoes, red peppers, a bunch of spices. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to eat after the show. So yeah, that's literally, I was like, I got to taste it, and I have to test it before, and I'm like, fuck it, like I'm past the show time. What a disaster I am as a micro niche internet celebrity. I am an abject failure. I love the Drew's like chai in the chat. I love the texture of ring pops. I don't wear them though. That looks really good. Yes, it's lamb, it's potatoes, it's red peppers. Come on, onions, garlic, olive oil, lemons, rosemary, oregano. Like, where are you going wrong here? There's nothing in here that is bad for any human being on the face of this earth. I hope you enjoyed that meal, James. Haram for me, but not haram for you. What is haram about lamb? I don't understand. Oh, it's not kosher. It hasn't been Judas Fly Chai. I don't think I've ever had lamb. Well, sir, you are the poorer for it, sir. In terms of you're living in Los Angeles, it's probably arguably the number 3 city in the United States, certainly by size, the number 1 city in the West Coast of the United States. And I realize there's a heavy Asian influence because you live near the Pacific. But for heaven's sake, sir, you are Persian, are you not? You are Judas Fly Chai, the based Persian Michelin guy. And what I want to tell you is that you need to more deeply be in touch with your Orion roots, sir. That's what I would tell you. And that means eat lamb, eat Persian rice, put some potatoes at the bottom of a pot of rice and then flip it over. Do all that stuff. That's what you need to do. All right. Enough of the food stuff. Because people probably, they're not as much a foodie person as I am. Man, I'm going to lose all my stuff. I'm going to forget where I am. It's about to enter such an interesting time. And when I say interesting, I mean bad. But let's talk about, the point of tonight's, the title of tonight's stream is, what is beyond us? Nothing is beyond us. What's beyond the Bitcoiners? Nothing is beyond Bitcoiners. And I'm going to show you that right here and right now. I'm going to show you, we're going to go around a bunch of different places, so you're going to need to pay attention. You're going to need to follow with me. But let us begin by going to Argentina. And if you remember, and I covered this last year, the International Monetary Fund loaned the government of Argentina $54 billion, that's billion with a B, in order to how do they say it? Like discourage the use of cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Well, guess what's fucking happening?
The hard money top 10 list for Bitcoin in 2023. Number 6, Argentina could elect a Bitcoiner for president. Unofficial estimates have inflation running at about 25% year over year since 2008, with even more outrageous rates exceeding 50% in 2022 for the peso. Most citizens are ready for a change. That's why we're watching Javier Milei, an economist currently serving as a federal deputy of Buenos Aires, who is running for president this year. He is also a Bitcoin maximalist.
El Bitcoin es la reacción natural frente a la estafa que son los bancos centrales y que el dinero vuelva a ser privado. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Cuando vos tenés economías con alta inflación y el problema de la estafa es más claro, entonces hasta podés discutir, como digamos planteo yo, directamente eliminar el Banco Central.
This is why we're winning. Bitcoiners can publicly say they can run for president on a platform of we are going to close the central banks. The reason why we win and you fucking lose is because we're smarter than you and we have something that works and you don't. Okay, this guy, now listen, I don't know about this Argentinian guy. I don't know what his chances are. Maybe he only has a 5% chance. Maybe he could win. Maybe they're gonna put a fucking bullet in his head. Maybe, who the fuck knows? But here's what works for us that does not work for any other fucking worldview, and that is this: they will continue to degrade the money. In Argentina, the inflation is super high, so people are looking for something. This guy says Bitcoin. Will the Argentines go for it? Will they? Will the Rothschilds and those, the Rothschilds and the Warburgs, will they allow that? Will the IMF? Who knows? Will it be terrorism? Will it be Al Qaeda in fucking Buenos Aires? We don't know, like, what's going to be done to maintain control of the current system. But even if they defeat this guy, if they find him screwing a woman that's not his wife or doing something wrong or whatever, it doesn't matter whether it's a legit thing or a bullshit thing. The problem is, if they put a bullet in his head, they make this guy a global martyr, and that would be a really bad idea for them. You know what I mean? Because everybody would fuck. All of us, we know that, and that would, mind you, we're all fucking hard-minded motherfuckers that are dead set on replacing the U.S. dollar with Bitcoin. We're dead set on this. There's no compromise. We're gonna win, and you're gonna fucking lose. If they whack this guy, if they destroy this guy, the economy in Argentina is still going to be shit. They're still going to hyperinflate the currency and people are still going to be pissed off. So it doesn't really kill the idea. Killing the man doesn't kill the idea. And around the world, in Togoland, in Central African Republic, in El Salvador, in all the places around America and Western Europe and Japan and Asia, where there are Bitcoiners, that's just going to harden our resolve. That's just going to make us double down, triple down, work harder to exchange our slavery coupons faster for Bitcoin. Oh, by the way, wearing the red string, the Marty bracelet, to welcome Persephone back from the underworld. Welcome back, sweetheart. Nice to see you again. If you go outside and you notice the trees don't have leaves on them yet, but they do kind of have like a red fuzz on them. That's the purpose of this thing. That's why you wear it. I know there's a bunch of goofy Catholics that wear stuff like this, and the Jews wear stuff like this. And I don't know. Listen, you don't know where the fuck it came from. I know where it came from. This goes back. There's a reference to it in the Iliad, believe it or not. Although that reference is during the shortest day of the year, during like what you would call Christmas. The idea was to put a red string, like make spring come more quickly on the shortest day of the year. But that aside, I just thought I would mention that. So there's a Bitcoiner running for president in Argentina. What are his chances of winning? I don't fucking know. But our ideas advance, they win, they go forward, and then a fucking thing these motherfuckers can do to stop it. And everything they do to stop us only makes us stronger. So, quote unquote, this is good for Bitcoin. which is a very fucking annoying phrase that people just seem to mindlessly repeat, this is really good for Bitcoin. Okay. What else do we got? So let's talk about some FUD. Let's talk about how the psychological the psyops they use to try to keep you holding on to green pieces of paper issued by a Jewish-controlled bank that are constantly being debased. Here's how they're going to fuck with your head. Here's how they're going to try to convince you to hang on to those worthless green pieces of paper.
If you are interested in Bitcoin and crypto, does that mean you're actually an impulsive psychopath? In psychology, there's a group of 4 traits known as the dark tetrad. These traits are Machiavellianism, narcissism, psychopathy, and sadism. They're called dark because they're associated with extreme selfishness and a lack of empathy. So people who score highly in Machiavellianism tend to distrust politicians and government agencies. Therefore, many Machiavellians like Bitcoin because they believe it avoids government corruption. I guess call me a Machiavellian? Narcissists, on the other hand, tend to be overconfident and focus on the positive side of life. They like Bitcoin because of the confidence that their own lives will improve. Psychopaths are impulsive risk takers who enjoy stimulation seeking, making them more resistant to stress and anxiety. They like Bitcoin because the fear of missing out, aka FOMO, on the rewards that others are experiencing. And finally, sadists. They enjoy the suffering of others and may be attracted to Bitcoin because they don't want to miss out on investment rewards either. The study didn't find that everyone interested in Bitcoin and crypto had these traits, just that it trended that way.
Okay, well, look at this. The comment section. I'm going to go back to the comments. There are 11 comments. Do I know what Doge is? I don't know. Doge is a hell of a person. I drink Doge. Have you ever had Jewish Fly Chai talking about different things? Friend Federico Vasconcelos is a Spaniard Italian apparently. Jewish Fly Chai. I was so hyped for Purim. I haven't slept in the last 24 hours. Now I'm going psychoactive. FOMO. I remember that. Yes, you should remember FOMO because it's fear of missing out is very much a real thing. So all these internet articles, these fucking web videos like, oh, do you like Bitcoin? You must be a dark psychopath. You must be, like a narcissist. They're just gonna like drip. They're gonna coat or attempt to make a Bitcoin the least popular thing you could possibly want to do. Now, how big is this? It's broad in the sense that it's done on a lot of different levels, a lot of different ways. There's a new series of, there was a guy, what's his name? Kiefer Sutherland. He in the 2000s, he was in a TV series called 24. His father was an actor in the 70s in a movie called Spies, believe it or not, which made spies look like a bunch of incompetent jerk-offs. But Kiefer Sutherland, son of Donald Sutherland, who did quite a bit. He was never like a big star, but he's worked pretty steadily in Hollywood. Kiefer Sutherland had this TV show that was kind of a big deal back in the day. Now he's back. This TV show, and I'm going to show you, it's a 90-second clip of there's a bunch of different stuff that they're mixing and matching in this, and it's called The Rabbit Hole, and I think it's either on Amazon or Netflix. Take a look.
Delivery on 30?
Yeah, sign in.
Sure, you mind holding on to that for me? Thanks. That is a bomb. I have just armed it. Don't move. You move, the bomb detonates. If I hear any alarms or sirens, I detonate the bomb, understand? Good. I'll be right back.
You need to know what you're getting into. This is not cops and robbers. The enemy is everywhere, but he can't be seen. So what's it going to be? Are you going to be all heroic and difficult, or are you going to be sensible and help us save the world?
Data drives everything. You think you're shopping for socks, but they know who you're voting for.
Why me?
I can trust you.
You're the one who taught me not to trust anybody.
Corporate espionage is the dirty way to get rich.
Are you accusing me of something?
You found something big enough to make you a target.
It's just part of the job, right?
No one's ever succeeded in toppling a democracy as ours. But a country rife with anger and division is a job already half done.
This time there was just too many possibilities. I can't tell.
So look at that, man. Are they mixing a ton of stuff? They're like, it's like they just threw everything into the hat. Let's mix it up. As a guy who delivers boxes, by the way, you most never deliver to the lobby. You always go to shipping and receiving. Secondly, the security guard's an Asian dude. You know why the security guard's an Asian dude? Because if they showed real security guards, which are all black dudes, and you handed them a bomb, they would go, fuck this shit, I'm out. And they would just run out of the fucking building. You know what I mean? They would literally just fucking run. They're like, oh, motherfucker, feet don't fail me now. You know what I mean? There's no way some black dude would go, yes, I'll stay here to protect the whole building. But the Asian guy is going to be like honorable Asian guy. You can't make it a white guy. It has to be a non-white guy as a security guard, right? It's like, oh my fucking God. And then here's Kiefer Sutherland, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. I'm walking through the streets with a bomb. I just armed the bomb. And of course, everyone believes what he says. Everyone hears what he's like. It's such shit. You know, and the whatever the director controller guy, like, you're not going to be heroic and difficult, are you? So you're saying that heroism and obstinacy or devotion to a cause, heroism and devotion to ideals is the wrong way to save the world? Is that what you're saying? Because that's not 100% clear. So there's that, right? And then they're like, and then of course, so Kiefer Sutherland is delivering bombs, and then somehow a bomb goes off, and he's like, oh my God, the bomb has gone off, my ears hurt. Oh, my tender ears, my tender federally funded ears. Like, you're delivering bombs and you're surprised that other people bomb you. And by the way, bombing things like the King David Hotel, 9/11, you know, I don't know, fucking Oklahoma City. Like, I don't know who's, you know, there's a certain group that tends to like bombing a lot. And, you know, so they're making this weirdo fucking story where they're mixing all this stuff together. And some of it's going to be accurate, and some of it's going to be projection, and some of it's going to be referencing things that have already happened in the past. And they're going to push this in front of you. And this becomes if this becomes a popular TV show, people are going to be like, oh, did you see that episode of Rabbit Hole? And it's called Rabbit Hole, going down the rabbit hole, right? Leaving the world of normies, leaving the world of everyday thought, and going and looking at things in an opposite way, in a twisted way, in an unusual way, right? That's a series they're going to push on people. And of course, the guy planting the bombs, Kiefer Sutherland, is the good guy. Bryan Cranston is such a good actor. What do you choose, Fly Chai? Gandhi is a Sabbath meal. I don't know what that is. You know what Gandhi is? It is an Iranian Jewish dish similar to matzo balls, but made with lamb, turkey, or chicken. My family only does chicken. I'm guessing the Iranians would have used lamb, or maybe chicken. They might have chickens in Iran, but I don't think they have turkeys. Bizarrely, though, when I was in Athens, there was so many fucking turkey sandwiches I saw for sale in stores. I'm like, it must be like a thing to fucking Europeans. It must be an exotic protein to them. But to me, I'm like, fucking, I eat turkey sandwiches all the time. Ralph, feet don't fail me. This is better than TV. Of course, I'm better than TV. I'm much more interesting than television. So, okay, so the idea that they're going to try to create an online world which is going to oddly reflect more or less what's happening. There's another series, I didn't get the clip. I'll show it next week. That links the Waco massacre with Oklahoma City. So they're pushing this. the domestic terrorist, the Christian nationalist thing. I'm seeing this on Christian nationalist terrorists. I'm seeing this on Instagram. I'm seeing this in other the few platforms I'm still allowed on. So so I'm watching this. I'm watching this narrative being spun, whether it's by people or it's by Chat GPT. Comments going crazy. Must be Judith Fletcher. James, just talk at me so I become smarter. I will. That is my attempt, sir. To be in all honesty, the reason why I talk is that so the people that listen to me might become smarter, or might be. If I can't make you smarter, hope fingers crossed I can make you less stupid. Federico Valenzuelos. There is some rumor circulating that Daniel Sinkowitz has died. Well, he's died. He probably died. I don't know. He was. Daniel Sinkowitz is some guy, this mentally unstable individual that I talked to a few times on live streams. He's a Polish guy, and he hates being called a Polak. Like he would go out of his mind being called a Polak. You know, like I grew up you're Greek, you're here, like, oh, you're queer, you're this, that, blah, 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 blah. You know, like a fucking million times. But the Polish don't like being called Polacks. Like, and Daniel Sinkowitz was hypersensitive about shit. So of course it was easy enough to fucking trigger him, just call him a Polak. Polak this, Polak that, and he would go out of his mind. But he had enough money to live in fucking Europe, and he lived in Europe for a number of years, supposedly to look for a wife. Yeah, he was a Spurg, but he was our Spurg. I don't know about, you know what? I don't want Spurgs. There's a higher barrier. You need to a higher threshold you need to cross in order to get into our club. And if you are still to Spurg level, you don't have what it takes. And here's the thing, Federico Vasconcelos. Here's why Bitcoiners are smart and you're dumb. First off, you figured out, okay, Jewish power is real. It is elite and it is negative to every society to which it dominates. That is a correct observation. However, you fail to understand, one, how to defeat it. Two, you marry that somehow to Hitler was the good guy in World War II. Hitler was not the good guy in World War II. There's really actually no good guys in war. Even the defenders have to do things that they would prefer that they didn't have to do, right? So that you've noticed one thing that is reality based. Well, congratulations, you got one, but there's more to this game than just noticing that elite power is inherently Jewish and negative. Like, that's not enough. You need to do more, right? You need to put more points on the board. You know what I mean? It's not enough to go into the ring and throw one jab. You know what I mean? You got to win this whole fight. Francesco says you don't care. Oh, you don't care? I don't. Trust me, I don't care either. This is why we win and you lose. This is why we can publicly run for president and all around the fucking world. And anywhere you pop your fucking head up, you get smashed. There's a reason why we're winning and you're losing, and you can't figure out what that is. All right, so let's talk about how the world doesn't get it yet. The chat doesn't quite get what I'm talking about, and that's where we are way, way, way ahead of the curve. Here is and I probably played this guy too much, but he's kind of like the Bitcoin saint. Michael Saylor, 54 seconds during some interview like 6 months ago or so.
What keeps me up at night is that there are so many mainstream influencers, so many policy makers, so many investors and money managers that still don't understand half an hour or an hour worth of Bitcoin fundamentals. But the world is still full of incredible numbers of people at every level, from the top ranks of our government to leaders, captains of industry, down to rank and file. The world is full of people that don't understand the theory of money. They couldn't do it. They don't understand what money is, right? Money is a medium of exchange, okay? So therefore, I guess the peso is just as good as the dollar, is just as good as Bitcoin, because they're all just mediums of exchange. The lack of awareness of the theory of money, that's something that keeps you up at night. The world is full of people that don't understand the power of an open, permissionless monetary network.
So there's Michael Saylor, and he can get really esoteric and weird, but he's got a good point. Do you understand what money is? And most people don't. You will fight for it. You'll scratch and claw for it. It will cause you pain. You'll wish you had it. You'll throw it away when you don't, in a certain mood, and then you'll fucking regret it. And like, what is money, right? Aristotle, and you have to go back to Aristotle. Aristotle defined it a bunch of different ways, but there are at least 3 qualities of money that are critical, right? And this is what Saylor's talking about. Money must be a unit of account. How much am I giving you? Am I giving you 1? Am I giving you 10? Am I giving you 650? I don't know. It must be a medium of exchange. I must be able to give this thing to you. And it must be a store of value. That is to say, it must be so valuable to you and so valuable to another person that you can give it to another person for what you want. And so when Aristotle, way back in the day, said, money is justice, that money equalizes unequal transactions, right? How do you transact in a smooth and efficient way, right? It's really, really difficult. The barter system is slow and difficult and impossible to fucking use. And you can't get anything done. But money as a technology, as an idea that, okay, I don't have everything you want, but I have some of what you want, and I have this thing called money that you can take and trade with someone else for whatever the fuck it is you want. People don't understand what money is. You don't know what it is. You struggle your whole life for it. You murder for it. You lie, you cheat, you fucking steal. You fucking feel if someone steals your money, cons you out of money, takes it from you by force, you're fucking outraged. It fucking destroys your whole life, destroys your whole worldview. You don't even know what the fuck you're fighting. And so when Michael Saylor says what keeps him up at night is so many people at the top level don't understand money, is what he's saying is that we live in a world that is so fiat. In the world, in terms of, in the language of Bitcoin, it's fiat, right? It's all paper issued by central banks. It's based on nothing. So there are so many people, the Trumps, the fucking the Elon Musks, the fucking all the people that were shown in that video. They are who seem to personify the life that you think you want, right? That you believe you want. Oh, if only I didn't have to struggle for money, if I don't have to worry about paying the mortgage, paying the car payment, making sure my kids go to college, putting food on the table. If I was only free from this burden, like Donald Trump is free from that burden, Elon Musk is free from that burden, the sports stars, the Beyonce, whatever, fill in the blanks. Like if only, everything would be perfect. But here's the problem: is when you get up to that level, you're so fucking weak that those struggles seem like impossible struggles. They seem like impossible struggles. Now I'm going to show you a video of a guy named Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is an Italian guy. I think he's a little bit older than I am. He's a billionaire. He's a hedge fund manager. He's been on Wall Street for a number of decades. This video is going to be an edit, but it's not that much of an edit. You're mostly going to see Ray Dalio speaking. And here's the thing about Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is a billionaire. And I want you to listen to what a billionaire thinks about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. This is going to be super fucking revealing. This is going to be super revealing. And the reason why I say this is because I was maybe 6 weeks ago, I was on a Jonathan Paul show. And he had this dude named Dr. Breck, who calls himself Dr. Breck anyway. And one of the things this guy said, which was stuck in my ear, stuck in my mind was most of these billionaires, the Zuckerbergs, the Musks, etc., that you see on television, he doesn't think of real billionaires. He thinks they're just dummies that are basically chosen to enact an agenda. You know what I mean? That people, other people deeper in the shadows, decide that, okay, you're going to be our front man. And I remember hearing that. It was the first time I heard that. I was like, I hadn't heard that before. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pay attention. And now here's Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio, he's on CNBC, which is a national fucking television show that's devoted specifically to finance. And here's Ray Dalio talking about Bitcoin and crypto. And then there's an edit with some other guys yelling and screaming, but it's super simple to get this point. The whole clip, 57 seconds.
Bitcoin, it's not going to be an effective money. It's not an effective storeholder wealth. It's not an effective medium of exchange.
I have never been so sick to my stomach of the lying and fibbing. Ray Dalio gets on TV and says he doesn't think the solution is going to be Bitcoin, and then describes what he thinks the solution is going to be, and he describes Bitcoin. Like, this is so asinine, and I've never seen anything like this.
If you created a coin that says, okay, this is buying power that I know I could save in and put my money in over a period of time, and then I can transact in anywhere, I think that would be a good coin.
We are living in clown world 3.0, okay? And the people running this clown world need to be challenged by the people who understand mathematics. And it's not difficult math, guys. It's grade 11 math. So please keep challenging these people. They're lying through their teeth.
And what I've, pretty much.
So that's Ray Dalio, who supposedly, if you Wikipedia Ray Dalio, it's like when he was young, he used to mow lawns and do this and that. And by the way, when I was young, I used to mow lawns, fucking cut grass in people's hedges on Staten Island. I never became a billionaire, never even became a millionaire, right? But somehow Ray Dalio, that guy, as dumb as that motherfucker is, and like I said, it was an edit, but it wasn't that much of an edit, where he says Bitcoin is not a store of value. It's not a store of value over time. You can't save your money in it. Really? In fucking 2009, you used to be able to get 5 Bitcoins for free by sending your email address. There used to be websites that would send you 5 Bitcoins for free for just sending your email address. That would be over $100,000 right now. If you just sent one fucking email in 2009, and I realize nobody did this, or if they did this, they threw away their fucking computer. The fact that that something that was worth $0 in 2009 is now worth $23,000. And someone like Ray Dalio, the billionaire, because he's a billionaire, you understand? He's richer than you and he's smarter than you. But look at how dumb this fucking retard is. Look at how fucking stupid he sounds. Listen to it. How the fuck did that guy become a billionaire? How did he become a billionaire? That isn't somebody fucking behind him, that there aren't bigger forces behind him pushing him forward for fucking their own reasons. This guy's dumb as a bag of fucking hammers. This guy's dumber than the fucking guys I grew up with. Right? So, when Dr. Breck says these billionaires aren't billionaires, or they're created by forces larger than we comprehend, larger than we see, I think that's 100% correct. And then you literally have this guy say, well, you need an electronic token, a cryptocurrency where you save your money over time and you can use it anywhere at any time. That's fucking Bitcoin. That literally is Bitcoin. But it's not Bitcoin. So if you're listening to what people are saying on TV, if you're reading what's on fucking in the newspapers or magazines or different think pieces online, you are getting 100% pure propaganda by people who were not much smarter than Ray Dalio. Okay. Now Ray Dalio, admittedly, is whatever. He's the Shabos of Shabos, but Ray sounds senile. Yeah, but he's got $1 billion, and you live in a trailer park, Francesco. So you know what I mean? He's a billionaire, and you're not a billionaire. There are TV cameras pointed at him, you know, and you would even think, if nothing else, look at the size of the bottle of wine. This is like, I'm drinking a mega wine tonight. If you think of nothing else, like you're a billionaire, you've achieved billionaire status, however you've done it, whether it's by licking the fucking boots of the Rothschilds or whomever, that if you're going on national TV and you're going to be interviewed about the current topic, the current subject, that you would at least think, okay, make me look good, right? I'm a billionaire dude. I want to look good. I want my tie. He's in a suit. He's got to tie a certain way, right? He's got a Windsor knot in his tie. He's in a beautiful fucking suit. You know what I mean? Like the lighting is just so. He's got makeup. All of that's being done. Do you think the component called knowing what the fuck you're talking about, you think that component might come in to play at some point? I would think. I mean, if I was a billionaire dude and I didn't have really nothing to worry about, I would be like, okay, make me look good, make me look smarter than the average fucking guy. By the way, quick question, midstream question: have you smashed up the like button? Because you need to do that before you leave. If you're here, if you're enjoying the rants, if you're enjoying the video clips, if you are enjoying seeing that something is moving that most people, that the elites don't understand and can't control, if you enjoy that, you should smash up. You should be smashing up the like button. More comments in the chat. Just like I smashed the like button. I believe you, sir. I appreciate you as one of the most loyal fans of this show. But here's the thing: someone is presenting to you the rabbit hole series where the guy who plants the bomb in the building is really the good guy, and that, you know, everything's reversed and everything's upside down, and they want to promote this idea that, you know, nothing is what it looks like it is. They're pushing that through Netflix. There's all these secret agent, super spy, fucking killer, murderer, fucking themes that are being pushed everywhere, and they're the good guys, no matter what it really looks like. But the truth is, we all know things are in fact Attila. Judas Light Chai, I never had brothers, only sisters. Well, good for you. I want you to know you were like an older brother to me, and I will never forget you. Well, I'm not. Listen, Judas Light Chai, unless you're sending a bunch of dudes from Mossad into my apartment relatively soon, which would be a bad idea because there will be holes in them. I promise if somebody comes into my home, there will be holes put in them very quickly. But I appreciate the thought behind what it is you are trying to express, sir. So the small hats are pushing through the Screenwriters Guild or whatever. Some ideas, some of which are half-ass correct, some of which are completely retarded. But we're winning. You know what I mean? And the reason why we're winning is because we can publicly call out. When the guy from Argentina, let me show the guy from Argentina real quick again. He literally calls out the central bankers as scammers, right? This is much better than calling them out as anything else, because this resonates immediately with everyone who's watching their purchasing power drop.
The hard money top 10 list for Bitcoin in 2023. Number 6, Argentina could elect a Bitcoiner for president. Unofficial estimates have inflation running at about 25% year over year since 2008, with even more outrageous rates exceeding 50% in 2022 for the peso. Most citizens are ready for a change. That's why we're watching Javier Milei, an economist currently serving as a federal deputy of Buenos Aires, who is running for president this year. He is also a Bitcoin maximalist.
El Bitcoin es la reacción natural frente a la estafa que son los bancos centrales y que el dinero vuelva a ser privado. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Cuando vos tenés economías con alta inflación y el problema de la estafa es más claro, entonces hasta podés discutir, como digamos planteo yo, directamente eliminar el Banco Central.
Whatever you think, is there anyone that thinks what you think that's publicly fucking interviewed on television as a candidate for the leader of a country? The answer is no. Here's why the point of this, the title of this show, Nothing is Beyond Us. Nothing is beyond us, right? When you're wedded to the idea that, oh, if everyone only understood that Hitler was the good guy and the Jews drink the blood of Christian babies and like if you're like, oh, if only people could understand. Trust me, they understand. You're a retarded psychopath, okay? People have everyday concerns, and Bitcoin and Bitcoiners speak to their everyday concerns and bypass all of the fucking traps of you're a right-wing fascist, you're this, you're that. All of that, all of that's completely bypassed because the people in charge of the money, the paper receipts we trade back and forth, are going to fuck it up. They have been fucking it up. They'll continue to fuck it. So we're winning. And the way we're going to win is they're going to fall flat on their face and we're going to step on their fucking head and walk right over them. That's what's going to happen. And you can sit there like you're currently doing with your thumb up your fucking ass saying, you know, when it's all said and done, your children and your grandchildren will ask you, Papa, what did you do during the war for human freedom? And you'll go, oh, I sat on my ass and I waited for Hitler to be reincarnated. You know what? Your grandchildren's gonna fucking push you off the fucking cliff into the ocean and be done with you. You know, because you don't need to fucking steal any more oxygen than you've already stolen. Do something to fight back. And I don't mean bomb a building which has an Asian security guard, which good luck finding a building with an Asian security guard. But anyway, you know, they're creating this narrative. They're going to continue creating this narrative. Good. Spend time and energy, spend all your fucking resources on this shit. Because what we're doing is creating value for people everywhere, all over the globe. And the more you fuck up, the stronger it makes us. The more you fuck up, and then when I say you, I don't mean you specifically. I mean the more the Jews, the central bankers, the whatever, the fractional reserve currency bros, the more they fuck up, the more we win. Let's see what's going on in the comments. We're coming up on 55 minutes, by the way. 55 minutes, 28 seconds. I will tell my grandchildren I smashed the like button. Good for you, sir. You will be proud of that. You will be proud of that. Is there any way I can send you money? I have a job. Yeah, I should probably put something up. I'll put up like a Bitcoin thing next week, or Cash App or something like that. I don't know. You want to send me money? I will be more than happy to receive it, because the more power I have, the more economic power I have, the more I will translate that into effective arguments for why you should abandon a corrupt system which serves an unelected elite, and you should reward virtue, both your own and those of others. You know what I mean? And that living in a world where people act out of honest virtue, as opposed to acting out of desire for gain at all costs, is a better world. And that's the world we're trying to create. Anyway, to Judas Flychai, to Federico Vasconcelos. I'm always gonna fuck the guy's name. to Virgil Doc, Purple Heart. Thank you for showing up. Everybody else, thank you for coming to the show tonight. And listen, we'll see you again next week. Where's my outro music? Hey, come on. Where's my outro music? I can't be that drunk. Anyway, good night, guys. I'll see you again next week.